Hey folks, how's it going? We're in northern Colombia at Aeropuerto Internacional Palonegro, and we're flying another one of these relatively obscure, not as well known, challenging approaches in this flight as we head down to southern Colombia to fly the RNAV 02 approach into Pasto. So Palonegro Airport is at an elevation of about 4,000 feet. And both Palonegro and Pasto Airport are basically located on top of these plateaus that are at essentially very high elevations above the cities that they are in close proximity to. Pasto, where we're going to in southern Colombia, is at an elevation of approximately 6,000 feet. And that also is located on a plateau, and as you're going to see, it's going to be an incredibly fun, challenging approach. Now, as far as I know, this route does not exist in real life, at least in an Airbus A320, but I figured we'd fly the Airbus A320 in Avianca's 100th anniversary livery, which is pretty retro, looks pretty fantastic, and of course, as some of you may know, Avianca, just in recent days, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So unfortunately, the world's second oldest airline has now filed for bankruptcy. It looks to be another casualty of the COVID pandemic, which is hitting the airline industry particularly hard, unfortunately. But we're going to fly this beautiful retro livery today. As you can see, passengers are embarking onto the aircraft. This scenery is from Sierrasim. Pasto Airport that we're going to be flying to is also from Sierrasim. And these airports are nice little gems that we're going to be shuttling between, going from northern Colombia down to southern Colombia today. Before we hop in the flight deck, let's quickly take a look at our flight plan today. Okay, here's our flight plan. We're flying Avianca 321 today, Airbus A320 CFM engines, cruising flight level of 360, total flight plan distance 466 nautical miles, and we're going to have an average tailwind component of 6 knots en route. Carrying 145 passengers today, trip fuel 3,105 kilograms, and time en route is 1 hour and 8 minutes. And we're going to be releasing with 5.5 tons approximately fuel on board, which should give us an endurance of 2 hours and 19 minutes. And let's take a look at our route of flight here on the map. So we're up here at Palonegro in northern Colombia, as I mentioned, and we're going to do the Barranca Bermeja 1 Delta departure. Then we're going to take route Uniform Whiskey 26 to Rio Negro, Medellin, VOR. Then Uniform Papa 778 to Cali, VOR. Then Golf 675 to the Mercadares, VOR. And at Mercadares, VOR, we're then going to transition into the RNAV RNP 02 approach into Pasto, which is going to be a ton of fun. This is a pretty awesome circling approach, RNAV approach, of course, but we're going to transition to visual approach once we have the airport in sight. That takes us in close proximity to some really high, spectacular mountain terrain in this part of southern Colombia. And of course, this part of southern Colombia is relatively close to Quito in Ecuador. And so while we're not going to be at the same heights, obviously, as Quito is, we're still going to have some pretty spectacular terrain on this relatively not as well-known approach. And so we're going to have a fun and challenging approach into Pasto in Colombia today. So that's our flight plan. Let's go ahead and hop in the flight deck here, and we'll do our pre-departure flows, and we'll get going shortly. Okay, folks, welcome aboard the flight deck. Let's go ahead and do our departure brief here with our co-pilot and FS2 crew. Are you ready for the departure brief?
Ready.
Okay, this is going to be a standard left seat takeoff with takeoff flaps config 2 and takeoff flex temp 56. V speeds 126, 127, 130. And the weather at Palonegro, winds 310 at 4 knots. Visibility okay. Clouds scattered at 1,000 and scattered at 7,000. Temperature 24, 2.19er, and altimeter is 3003. And let's review the taxi route going to our departure runway 35 today. Okay, here at the terminal apron, we're going to taxi to hold short of 35 via Alpha. And we'll hold short of 35 for departure there at the holding point. During the departure, for any malfunctions before V1, such as engine failure, fire, loss of control, aircraft unsafe to fly, I'm going to call stop, we'll reject the takeoff, brake, exit off the runway, if able, and advise ATC. Any malfunctions after V1, we're going to continue the takeoff and treat it as an in-flight emergency. I'm going to handle the controls and advise ATC, and you back me up with the ECAM memo action items. Pending that, we're going to be departing via the Barrancabermeja 1 Delta departure off of 35 today. That's Echo Juliet Alpha 1 Delta departure. The procedure is to climb on a track of 347 to 23 DME from the Piracuesta VOR, then a left turn on a 258 degree track to the Barrancabermeja VOR, at which point I'll be off the SID. And it looks like 6,700 feet is the MSA in the sector we're going to be departing towards. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet, perfect, same as stateside. The Papa India Echo, Echo Juliet Alpha VOR DMEs required for both, and this SID does require a minimum climb gradient of 5.1% until 6,000 feet. Weather doesn't appear to be a factor in this departure. We do have high terrain all around us, of course, but we've taken that into account. And that's it for our departure briefing. Any questions?
I'm good.
Before start checklist.
Cockpit prep.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
On auto.
Adheres.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
5,600 kilograms.
Takeoff data.
Set.
Baro ref.
3003 set.
3003 set. Down to the line.
Hey guys, all packs are on board. Are we cleared to close?
Thanks, it'll be a short taxi.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
Cabin crew, arm slides, and cross-check. And let's go ahead and request our GSX pushback here.
A partir de este momento, los dispositivos electrónicos y teléfonos celulares equipados con tecnología modo avión deben ser seleccionados en esta opción. Aquellos que no incorporen esta tecnología deben estar apagados. Te recordamos que el sistema Wi-Fi está deshabilitado. We're ready for pushback.
Below the line.
Windows and doors.
Closed.
Closed. Beacon.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
On.
Before start, checklist
Su
complete.
seguridad es muy importante para nosotros. Lo invitamos a observar las...
Pushback tug, moving into position, gear being locked. Look at those spectacular views there off the cliff that this airport is essentially on. Just absolutely stunning, this airport. Okay, let's go ahead and do a quick edit pushback feature here. That should do it. Parking brakes released, engine mode selected, ignition /start. Clear to start, let's go ahead and start up number 2. Starting engine 2. CFM engines today should be taking a lot less time to start, so that's good. And 2 showing there, EGT, and 1 showing signs of life as well.
Al salir del avión, ale de las dos perillas rojas para inflarlo o sople a través de los tubos rojos que se encuentran a cada lado. Una luz de localización se activará al contacto con el agua.
Okay, let's go ahead and set parking brakes. Pushback complete.
En caso de evacuación, bandas luminosas a lo largo del pasillo.
Good start on number 2. Let's go ahead and start 1.
Le guiarán hacia la salida
Starting
más
engine
cercana.
1.
Identifíquela. Esta puede estar incluso detrás de usted. En el bolsillo del asiento frente a usted encontrará una tarjeta con información de seguridad. Le recomendamos leerla antes del despegue. Verifique que su cinturón de seguridad esté abrochado, el respaldo de su asiento en posición vertical, la mesa individual asegurada, las persianas de las ventanas abiertas y que el equipaje de mano, portavasos y control remoto estén guardados y asegurados. Asimismo, le recordamos que está prohibido fumar, incluso cigarrillos electrónicos, y que desactivar los detectores de humo en los baños es prohibido por ley. Gracias y disfruten.
Okay, looks like a good start on number 1 as well.
Your safety is very important.
Engine mode selector back to normal. APU bleed off. APU master off as the marshaller there says, as the ground crew there clears us on the left and right.
Lift the top of the buckle.
After start checklist.
Loss of pressure in the cabin,
Anti-ice.
oxygen masks will automatically drop.
Off.
VCAM status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
Pull the mask down to start the oxygen
31% set.
Rudder trim.
Put it
0.
over your nose and mouth
After start
and
checklist
breathe
complete.
normally. Place the elastic band around your head and adjust it by pulling on the
Clear
ends.
left side.
Clear right
Oxygen will
side.
flow
Check.
through the mask
Okay, let's start
even if the
taxiing out
bag
here.
Does not inflate.
We'll release the parking brake and let's get going.
Secure your own mask first before helping others.
Brake check.
Pass the strap around your waist and adjust it.
Pressure 0.
Flight controls check.
Do not
Ready.
inflate the life vest while in the cabin.
Full up. Full down.
When leaving
Neutral.
the aircraft, inflate the vest by pulling on the red
Full
tabs
left.
or blowing into the red tubes.
Full right. Neutral.
A light will turn on automatically upon contact with water. This aircraft has 8 emergency exits.
Okay, we'll hang left
Each of
here
them
on
has a
Alpha.
slide for land evacuation, and 4 of them are equipped with front and rear evacuation rafts. In case of an evacuation, a floor or seat lighting system will guide you to the nearest exit. Located, it may be behind you. There is a safety card located in the seat pocket in front of you.
Rudder.
Please take a moment to review it before takeoff.
Pedals.
Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened, your seat back
Rudder.
fully upright,
With you.
the tray table
Full
stowed,
left. Full
the
right.
window shades
Neutral.
open, and carry-on luggage, cup holder.
Continuing taxiing out here. This really is a nice little gem of an airport from Sierrasim. As is the airport we're going to in southern Colombia. And Avianca, of course, as I mentioned earlier, started in Colombia. Routes all over Southern America today, or in recent years at least, and has the distinction of being the world's second oldest airline after KLM. Also started in 1919 and celebrated its 100th anniversary just last year. And unfortunately, happens to be now another casualty of the economic situation produced by the coronavirus pandemic, which is very, very unfortunate. The airline industry is certainly struggling mightily since this started. Okay, let's go ahead and do our before takeoff checklist here. Before takeoff checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
V speeds 126, 127, 130. Flex temp 58 degrees. Correction,
V1,
56
1, 2,
degrees.
6, VR, 1, 2, 7, V2, 1, 3, 0, flex temp, 5, 6 degrees, ATC.
Set.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Down to the line.
And I should have said config 2 earlier on the flaps, but I think I mistakenly said config 1 plus F, and I'm not sure the co-pilot corrected me there. But that was config 2 on the departure flaps there. Okay, let's go ahead and taxi on here, and 3-5, and we'll get going. Lights coming on.
Approach path
Lights,
clear,
camera,
traffic.
action. Let's get going. And of course, here as we come up on the departure end of 3-5, correction, the approach end of 3-5, you can see just what a steep drop-off there is here from this plateau to the countryside below us and the city of Palonegro. Just absolutely spectacular, stunning this is. And I can imagine the risk of downdrafts, updrafts, coming into land on 3-5 would be quite something. Below the line. Below the line.
Takeoff runway.
3-5 confirmed.
Confirmed. Cabin crew.
Advised.
TCAS.
TARA.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
PAX.
Off.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Ready.
Affirm.
Takeoff.
Check.
Flex temp 56. SRS. Runway. Auto thrust blue. Band flex 56. SRS. Runway. Auto thrust blue.
Check. Thrust set.
Checked.
Knots.
Checked.
V1, rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Spectacular views there on departure. It's absolutely stunning. Flaps 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that
Flaps
you keep
1.
your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located
Packs
at
are on.
each end.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time.
Okay, autopilot coming on.
Cigarettes. Also purchase a selection of hot beverages.
Let's continue our climb here to our cruising flight level of 360.
We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct exchange would be greatly appreciated. And if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin.
Flap 0.
Speed check. Flaps 0.
After takeoff, climb checklist.
Landing gear.
Up.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Packs.
On.
Down to the line.
Okay, we're down to the line. I do have Orbex Land Class South America installed. It's one of the better Land Class scenery packages, I think, from Orbex. The Orbex North America is so-so. Doesn't look very good at all in the western part of the U.S. Especially. But Orbex South America Land Class is one of the nicer ones in my view. It does look pretty nice. Okay, through 10,000 here.
Confirm seatbelts off.
Confirm.
Confirm clear rad nav.
Confirm.
Confirm. Copy. Activate to secondary.
Confirm. Okay, we got another 149 miles to go to our top of climb. Approximately 17 minutes from now, it looks like, before we get to our top of climb. And we've got another 437 miles to go to Pasto Airport, which we should be reaching in almost exactly 1 hour at 14:43 UTC. Fantastic. Okay, folks, sit back, relax, enjoy some ChasePlane cinematic camera views of the climb and portions of the cruise, and I look forward to talking again to the magic of video editing in a few minutes as we come up on our top of descent. Enjoy. Hey folks, welcome back. We're coming up on our top of descent here into Antonio Nariño International Airport at Pasto. In just a couple of miles, let's go ahead and initiate our descent. Manage descent mode, and as the aircraft starts to descend here to Antonio Nariño Airport in Pasto, let's go ahead and do our approach briefing. You have control.
I have control.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Ready.
Okay, the weather at Antonio Nariño Airport. Winds 340 at 5 knots. Visibility greater than 10 kilometers. Clouds scattered at 2,000 and broken at 9,000. Temperature 22 dew point 15 and altimeter is 3015. And we're going to be proceeding on the airway we're on here towards the Mercadares VOR. That's Mike Echo Romeo, and the Mercadares VOR is going to be our initial approach fix for the RNAV RNP runway 02 approach. Let's brief that approach plate here real quick. RNAV approach, final approach course of 020. From the initial approach fix, Mike Echo Romeo will be crossing that between flight level 140 and 120 at a maximum speed of 230 knots. Mercadares on a 213 track onto Papa Sierra 966 above at 10,000. Then the intermediate fix Papa Sierra 965, maximum speed 180 knots. Then onto Papa Sierra 964, again maximum 150 knots at 8,800 feet. That's going to be our final approach point. And then down the VNAV path we go, 3.2 degree slope there, and it's arced LNAV path there to Papa Sierra 963, at which point we'll be rolling out in final. Decision altitude for this approach is going to be 6,300 feet, and our visibility minimum is 1,600 meters. MSAs within 25 nautical miles of the Pasto VOR. It's a flight level 139er to the northwest, flight level 158 to the north, or to the east, correction, and flight level 160 to the southwest. Transition level is flight level 120, and in case we need to go missed, I'm going to call go around flaps. We're going to follow the RNP track to Papa Sierra 584. Correction, Papa Sierra 588 holding pattern, climbing to flight level 120. So we're going to cross Papa Sierra 584 at 7,000 feet, at or above 7,000 feet. Then Papa Sierra 966 between 7,000 and 7,800. Papa Sierra 585, 900,000 or below. 586, 10,000 or above, then Papa Sierra 588, flight level 120 or above, and the RMP required navigation performance of 0.3 in missed approach after Papa Sierra 585. Authorization required for this approach, RF required, double GNSS and an IRS required for RMP 0.5. This procedure is not authorized with remote QNH. We've got the local altimeter settings, we're all good there. And the procedure is not authorized at night when the PAPI is inoperative. This procedure is not authorized below 12 degrees centigrade or about 27 degrees centigrade. We're all good there today. And RMP 1.0 from the Merida VOR to, Mercadares VOR to Papa Sierra 965, 0.5 from Papa Sierra 965 to 964, and 0.15 from Papa Sierra 964 to runway 02. But the conditions should allow us to gain a visual well before we get there. Let's see if there are any other notes on here. At Papa Sierra 966, the missed approach altitude should be between 7,000 and 7,800, so that's all good. And we're going to be landing flaps full today, auto brake setting of medium. It's a 7,136 foot long runway. No taxiway paralleling, so we're going to flip around on the runway when we stop. Our approach speed is going to be calculated to be 138 knots, final approach. And once we land, we're going to flip around on the runway and backtrack to taxiway Alpha or Bravo and taxi the terminal to shut down and call it an evening. So that's our plan today, and that's our approach briefing. Any questions?
No questions.
I have control.
You have control.
Over a layer of overcast here, unfortunately, so we can't quite make out the spectacular terrain that's below us. And we're going to have to get a lot lower before we can finally break through this layer of clouds. But the views on approach into Pasto should be absolutely spectacular, though. Despite the soupy conditions up here.
mínima velocidad practicable, 6.5 millas adelante, el mismo localizador le precede la pista derecha, un 767 pesado.
Got some live ATC going on in the background there. That's from Bogota, of course, which is quite a ways away from here in southern Colombia. But hey, it's the best we could do in terms of having some semblance of local ATC background audio there. Okay, starting to make out the ground below us here in the high mountains of southern Colombia. And streaks of rain there on the windshield. This is a reflection profile for the FSLabs A320. I think it comes from Tomato Salat, I believe, on the FSLabs forums. It's pretty cool, pretty nice. And our maximum speed at the Mercadares VOR is going to be 230 knots, so let me go into managed speed mode here and we'll slow down to 230. Alright, let's go ahead and start getting those speed brakes out to help us slow down here. Just checking on the weather here at Antonio Nariño Airport to make sure there's been no weather updates since the last time we checked. No, it's all good. Just passing through a region of light rain here, it looks like. Really do like these rain droplet streak effects on the windshield. Looks pretty cool. Alright, just like that, we're through that region of rain. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be just a little high here as we come up on the Mike Echo Romeo VOR. We're supposed to cross between 14,000 and 12,000, but we didn't slow down as quickly as we should have. Oh well. Ceilings reported broken at 900,000 feet over the field. Airport elevation, of course, was 5,951 feet. So hopefully we should be through that layer of broken clouds in about 15, actually pretty soon, hopefully. And then clouds are also reported as scattered at 2,000. Okay, we're through transition there. Altimeter to 3015. 3015 set.
3015 set, passing 11,000.
Approach checklist.
Briefing.
Confirmed.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Now.
On.
Barrel
Checked.
rep.
3015 set.
3015 set, minimum.
6,300 feet. Set and checked.
Engine mode selected.
Normal.
Approach checklist complete.
Okay, we're coming up on 10,000 here. Let's activate approach mode there. And we'll go ahead and activate, approach phase has been activated, looks like. Let's go back into manage speed mode there. Starting to break out of that layer of broken clouds there. Getting some gorgeous views of the terrain surrounding Antonio Nariño Airport. There is the airport right there, and you can see why this approach is going to be so challenging and spectacular. You've got these high mount, this high plateau that it's on. It's basically like an aircraft carrier just sitting up there in that plateau. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. Flaps 2. Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
Gear down.
Gear down. Passing final approach fix. 8800 feet.
Checked. Flaps 2.
Speed check. Flaps 2.
Okay, let's go ahead and get our terrain alerts off here. We got a visual. And you can see how spectacular this approach is going to be as it winds us through these mountains and this incredibly high terrain surrounding the airport. Absolutely spectacular. A little bit of awesome condensation there over the top of those wings. Just spectacular. Let's go ahead and go into manage speed mode here and slow down to final approach speed. Flaps 3.
Speed check. Flaps 3.
Flaps full.
Speed check. Flaps full. Cabin crew be seated for landing.
And we'll go ahead and set our missed approach altitude, 12,000, flight level 120. Landing checklist.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust.
Speed.
Auto brake.
Medium.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist complete.
Okay, let's go ahead and take it off autopilot here, and we'll fly it in manually from this point forward. We'll take it off flight directors as we come out of the turn. .2 degree glide path there, or glide path angle, rather. Beautiful scenery, this. Disregard.
Sync rate.
Disregard again. There's the airport there. Boy, this approach is spectacular. And Airbus A319s do fly in here every once in a while from Avianca. They've got service, I believe, from Bogota and Cali into Pasto here in Colombia. Stunning approach, this. Okay, we've got 3 white, 1 red there. Flight director's off, bird on. Okay, going fully visual here. On glide path. Kind of a relatively skinny runway, this one, so gotta be extra careful lining up there.
Minimum.
Doing okay so far. And we got a slight crosswind here from the left that we'll correct for. And I do have real turbine stall, so always a chance for
200, 100,
turbulence and updrafts, downdrafts.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard 10, 5.
Alright, nice soft touchdown there.
Spoilers. Reverse brake, decel. 70 knots.
Alrighty folks, welcome to Antonio Nariño Airport here in the high mountains of southern Colombia in Pasto. Let's flip the aircraft around here and we'll taxi in. Really beautiful scenery, this from Sierrasim. These are nice little gems of mountain airports that Sierrasim has modeled and made available for prepared. Just absolutely spectacular. Okay, before we taxi in here, let's pause here momentarily, as usual, keeping it with the spirit of other videos on this channel, and let's take a look at a couple of quick replays of that landing. Then we'll come back in, taxi into the terminal up ahead, and shut down, call it an evening.
Confirmación nivel S113 derecha y previa guía vectorial al localizador. 113 derecha, localizador, hermana nacional 430. Siga el descenso 10.000, 10.000 pies, autorizado y el S113 derecha, notifica establecido en el localizador con presente rumbo. Continúa descenso para el 10.000 pies, notificar establecido en el localizador con el presente rumbo de nacional 430. Correcto. Se encuentra a 5 millas del umbral, llama ahora al Dorado Torre 1825, buenas tardes. 777, muchas gracias.
Okay, folks, welcome back. That was a very, very fun approach and landing there, here in the high mountains of southern Colombia. Okay, let's go ahead and backtrack here on runway 02, and we'll taxi into the terminal up ahead. Let's go through our after landing flows here. Flaps coming up. Brake fans have been turned on. Let's get those let's get that APU started up there. After landing checklist.
Flaps.
Up. Retracted.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
APU.
Start.
Radar.
Off.
Predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist complete.
Okay. Taxi light off. Okay, let's go ahead and request GSX parking here. Go to ramp 1, or gate 1, stand 1, actually. Let's do Avianca, of course. Okay, there we are. Unfortunately, due to the limitations of JSX, it looks like the marshaller will be in that A319 there, so I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, we're all good. I was worried the marshaller would be embedded somewhere in that jet there, but we should be okay. Alright, let's stop there, set the parking brake. APU is on, APU bleed coming on. Let's go ahead and shut down both engines here. Cabin crew, disarm slides and cross-check. Go ahead and get the seat belts off, beacon off. Let's get those fuel pumps off. Parking checklist.
APU bleed.
Let's request deboarding there from GSX. On.
Engines.
Off.
Seatbelts.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Nav logo on.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking brake and chocks.
Off and in.
Parking checklist complete.
Okay, parking checklist complete. Welcome to Pasto in southern Colombia, ladies and gentlemen. Again, a really nice little gem of an airport from Sierrasim for this part of South America here. It's absolutely gorgeous. And a superb, really, really fun, challenging approach if you're looking for an additional one to fly into here in southern Colombia, as the GSX memes just keep on coming. We had the bus there from GSX drive right through our nose landing gear there, and it's going to circle around, it looks like, for some reason, via taxiway Alpha there, I suspect, yeah, to come in to help unload passengers. And of course, we don't need the GSX bus given that we've got the terminal right there. But anyway, with the GSX memes, folks, I leave you with some fantastic cinematic shots of the spectacular scenery. Thank you all so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed watching this video. As always, if you like this content, be sure to hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I look forward to keeping some of these videos featuring challenging approaches and other interesting destinations around the flight sim world coming. You all take care. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to catching you in the future. Bye-bye.